this is not much of a haul, but this is actually a haul for me because I'm not one of those people who like buys 10, 20 books or borrows 10 or 20 books. But this is a library haul. I thought I would do a bit of a library haul because I borrowed more than 3 books. And I hope I'm doing this right. Like, I hope when you do a library haul, that means the books that you borrowed from the library, not necessarily the books you, well, yeah, I guess it is because people will do library sale videos too, where they'll share the books that they've actually bought from the library, because sometimes libraries do that. Fortunately, mine doesn't. But I think that's because, like, the bookstore is, like, 5 minutes away, like, 2 minutes away, or maybe even less than that. So, they would be competing with the books, with the bookstore, wouldn't be right. So I thought I would share all the books I brought home with me to read in the next couple weeks. The first one is one that I bought 2 weeks earlier. I didn't buy these books. I borrowed from the library 2 weeks because I decided to get the book by the Ocean at the End of the Lane and Farewell to Arms done first, before this one, because I got those done, get those done, and then I would just recheck out this one. Funnily enough, though, now I was trying to return those early so that I would avoid having too many books to bring with me when we go visit my sister for the weekend. But my problem, as soon as I get there and see the books, I see, oh, pretty books. Shiny books, I have to get them. I have to pick them up and bring them home because they're so shiny and pretty. So the book that I rechecked out is the Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. And I remember this was the Man Booker Prize. That's what it was. This was one of those war books. And I don't know much about it except for it's, let's see. It's kind of a little bit of supernatural. I think it's a bit of a ghost story. This is about people, and I don't know much. I really don't know. I just heard it was really good, and I wanted to read it, and I almost bought it, but then I was like, will this still be considered a sci-fi? Although I think for them at my bookstore, sci-fi, there are those people who are like, sci-fi and fantasy are the same thing. And I wasn't gonna, say anything or complain. Because I got a lot of great books back in August. So I didn't get it, but I decided to go ahead and borrow from the library. Maybe that was a mistake because this is a big chunker of a book. And I might be having it for a while. But I will go ahead and try it and bring it with me to visit my sister and read a little bit. Okay, so next, I loved Ocean at the End of the Lane. I really enjoyed it. And I do have American Gods. So, and I was originally looking for Coraline, but I did not see Coraline there. But I did see there were multiple copies of this book, the Graveyard Book. Which from what I know, this is this boy is, this one, oh by the way, this is really cool. I don't know if all of them have this, but all the editions, but this one has really cool illustrations. From what I know about this book, it's he's this boy, who was raised by ghost or something, and that's all I really know what it's about. I mean, you would think I would know more because this was a very popular book for a long time, for a while. But at the time I wasn't really paying attention. I recalled hearing about it, but I didn't remember what was said. Okay, next is another book that I remember hearing about on BookTube. It's a middle grade, so is this one, but I'm sure you guys know that. Um, The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And I think I saw this author's other book at the library as well. So from what I know, this village will sacrifice their children to this witch. The people of the village will leave their children at this witch's house, and for some reason the witch does not know why they do that. And she will take these children and will feed them starlight and then send them to new families to be raised. But then this one particular baby that that's left at her doorstep, she accidentally feeds this baby Moonlight. And she realizes this is a mistake, and she decides to raise this girl as her own. So, because I guess Moonlight is a bit more... Okay, well, it says in the little blurb on the back, it says, "There is magic in starlight, of course. This is well known. Moonlight, however, that is a different story. Moonlight isn't magic. Ask anyone you like." So, I feel like middle grade and sometimes young adult, I get through those a lot quicker, because I think that the people who write those books and publish those books, they know that the younger teen and kid audiences, like middle, preteen audiences, will get bored a little more quickly than adults will. So I think that's, I could be totally wrong there, but that's the only thing I can think of why a lot of times these books are not as long. Although that's been changing lately. At least books that are considered young adult books, or at least they're shelved in the young adult section, Sarah J. Maas, the books get a little longer as the series progresses. Okay, next! This one I know all about this one, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, author of Maybe in Another Life, Taylor Jenkins Reid. This has been a super popular book this year, and it is about this woman who, it's a Hollywood actress from, I want to say, the 60s, and it's about, she has decided, as an old woman, she's an old woman now, and she has decided she wants to tell her life story, so she hires this reporter to share her life story to her. And there is diversity in this book, and it's about, and of course it's about her, how she meets each of the seven husbands, and her relationship with each one of them, and why she had so many husbands. And like I said, I think there's diversity, like I think she's part Cuban, and she's bisexual, so that's, oh, and it's a volunteer pick, too. But yeah, that's what I know, and I really like this cover. Like, I love the dress. I would love it to wear a dress like that. But I don't, my problem is I have a bit of a tummy, and I don't always suck in when I probably should suck it in, and, so I don't usually look good in some of the dresses like this. But, yep. I cannot wait to finally jump on the bandwagon and read this, and who knows, maybe I'll like to just buy it. But I don't know. I'm very excited about that one as well. And the last two books, and Sophie, you are stepping on my books. I will let you out in a minute, okay? This one, I don't know anything about this one. I remember hearing about that book too, but I don't remember what people said about this. Oh, and this is also a staff pick. So I don't really know what this one is about either. Okay, so this is a book that is kind of similar to what that one book, Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, which I end up never reading because Not that I wasn't interested, but I think I had to take that one back because Hurricane Florence kind of forced me to, like, the library was still closed, so, and I needed to get those taken back, so I ended up just putting them in the slot and returning them. So maybe one day I will recheck it out again. I feel weird rechecking out a book I've already checked out once. I don't know. I know that it's okay. I'm not going to get punished or I'm not going to be rejected from getting the book. It's just, I just feel kind of awkward about it. But it sounds like there's, again, something about a bookstore. No man is an island. Every book is a world. So, it's one of those books, which I am really excited. And this one I'm actually going to read this time. And then this last one, this is when I heard, Chelsea Palmer talk about this one. She just read this one. And this is a Spartacus retelling, which I actually, funnily enough, at the bookstore, I saw a book Spartacus, at the Gibbons bookstore, and I keep thinking about buying it, but then I never do, because I'm more interested in other books. But this is a retelling. So I don't know the actual story about Spartacus, but I feel like you could still read books like this and not be totally, even if you don't know the original material, I don't think you're gonna enjoy it any less. I mean, yes, there might be some references or inside jokes or whatever that you might not understand, but you can still enjoy a book like this. But like I said, that's all I really know about this book. Atia looked into the face of the timorous monster. The champion of Rome towered over her. He was younger than she expected, with clear skin tanned by the sun, hard lines of muscle and sinew, tokens of his years spent in the arena. His dark hair was cut short in the Roman fashion, and accentuated the strong lines of his face. His eyes were bright and green like new grass. He held himself like a warrior. His mouth formed a grim line as he frowned at her. That dark look of his probably made countless men tremble. Atia never nearly expected the walls themselves to move to escape his displeasure, but she held her ground. She had never been cowed by a man. She was not about to start now. And of course, that's one of those things where, like, an actual paragraph from the book, not the actual description. What if Spartacus was a young woman? Roma Victrix, the Republic of Rome. Roma Victrix, the Republic of Rome, is on a relentless march to create an empire built on the backs of the conquered, brought back to Rome as slaves. Atia was once destined to rule as the queen and sword maiden of Thrace, the greatest warrior kingdom the world's seen since Sparta. Now she's a slave given to the gladiator Xanath. As sign of his master's favor, enslaved as a child, Xanath is now the champion of Rome, the preeminent gladiator of his generation. Against all odds, Attius and Xanath form a tentative bond, a bond that will spark a rebellion that threatens to bring the Roman Republic to its end, and gives rise to the legend of Spartacus. So that's the description. So those are the books I got from the library today. I don't know which ones I'm going to bring with me when I go visit my sister, but I'm going to bring some of them. And let's see, when are these due back? These are due back. Oh, okay. October 9th. Oh, for a second I thought you said November 9th. So it's actually not October 9th. Second, I don't know why. I thought she said November 9th. I mean, maybe she did, but really she meant October. Because it'll be weird. Because, like, wait, I have them all for a whole month. But anyway, so we will see. I'm probably going to bring Luminaries with me, for one. Because that's going to take me the longest to read, and I might check it out again for another 2 weeks. So, have you been to the library lately? Are there any books that you've checked out from the library? Do you use your library at all? Do you have family members that use your library? Please feel free to answer those questions in the comments below if you want to. You don't have to. Just out of curiosity. So if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you have not already and you happen to be watching this video and liked it. I hope you are always enjoying your reading, and I will talk to you all later. Alright, bye.